I just watched friends play games, but I was mesmerized. Everything's like, you have to have a hook in the beginning, you have to do this, and then this thing, and this thing. And it kind of sucks. That's boring. Many people entered this space after money was involved, and so to them, it's a job.
I'm Naomi, and this is Game Rant's Character Select, the show where I sit down with the most talented voices in gaming. Today I'm joined by Jesse Cox, content creator, game producer, and voice actor, and all-around great human on the internet. We talk about how he fell into making YouTube content for a living, what it was like in the early days, and what it takes to stay relevant today in the battle against the algorithm. Hey Jesse, I'm so excited to get to talk to you today. Thanks for coming on Character Select.
My absolute pleasure. Excited to be here.
Yeah, I've loved your work for a long time. We met on set of something way back in the day. What was it called? It was like for Microsoft or something.
Man.
Oh my God.
It was so long ago. Yeah, the Microsoft something is what it was.
Right. It was for, was it for Nerdist or something that Felicia Day was working on?
It was definitely a Geek and Sundry thing, I think.
Geek and Sundry. Yeah, that's right. You're right. But man, what a career you have had. And I wanted to really get to know a bit more about your background, because I don't even think I know where you were born or where you're from.
My social security number? Yeah, no, I got it all for you. Yeah,
I need all the info, all the data.
So I am originally from Ohio. It's where I went to school as a youngin'. And at the time, really, for those who've been to Ohio, not much is actually going on. Kind of boring unless you really like movies and or drinking. So if you're a kid, half of that is cut off for you. You're not really doing that. And so thankfully there were video games. And it was at the time where kind of Nintendo was really big. And so everyone I knew had a Nintendo. I did not. My parents were like, no, go touch grass. I was like, all right. By touch grass, they meant go to a friend's house and play, which is what I did. And I would go over to friends' houses and play all their cool games. And for years and years and years, I would watch friends play. I was really kind of like the first stream watcher ever in my little life, where all these people were playing games and I did not play them at all. I just watched friends play games, but I was mesmerized. And then my mom got me a Super Nintendo, and I was the first kid to have one of those. And boy,
oh, nice.
That's popularity. Let me tell you, everyone was like, can I come over? I was like, yeah, man. And then they got to watch me play Super Mario World, and it was fantastic. And at that point, I fell in love with games. Once I had a console, I was in deep. And from that point on, it's kind of always been a part of my life. And even though I moved between consoles and systems and brands and all the different things, and from PC gaming to console, then back to PC, all that stuff, I was just in love with it. But I also had this sort of like, man, what if I was an actor or did voices or things? So when I went off to college, I got a double major in theater, but then also history, because my parents were like, yeah, that theater thing's not going to work out, man.
Right.
I was like, okay. Sure, mom. Sure, dad. And so I did both. And they were very right. I tried to do all sorts of theater things. I worked in radio for a little bit. And I'm the least skilled at line memorization person, I think, on planet Earth. I cannot do it to save my life. Oh, I'm terrible at it. I don't know why. I just can't do it. If you want me to, you know how in theater classes, there will be kind of things like little games where it's sort of like you say a thing and the next person, that I can somehow do. My brain clicks with that in a way. But if you give me a script, I know that I'm supposed to have it memorized and focus more on the emotion and sort of what the characters go. Like, I know what it's supposed to do, but my brain's like, these are the lines. Make sure to say the lines correctly. And I can't. So then my acting is like, oh no, this is terrible. And I'm just not good at it. So, became a teacher. and so it's like acting, except it's a class that's forced to watch you, which is great for me. So I did that for a few years. And, then the big, like 2009, 2010 recession hit, and I lost my job teaching, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And so I started during that time for fun. I was making videos. Like, I was, even since the early 2000s, like 2001 or whatever, I was doing AMVs online and making little anime music videos because I like the idea of editing, which now as an adult hate. Editing sucks. It's the worst.
It's hard.
Yeah. But
it's tedious. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. My brain is like, no, I'm full TikTok brain at this point. I'm like, I have to, things need to move. And so at the time, though, I loved it. I loved the idea of trying to match mouth movements in things to voiceover from other things. Like one time I did the trailer for the movie Con Air, but overlaid with scenes from an episode of Cowboy Bebop just to see if I could do it, just to like set up the thing. Yeah. And so I've always delved in the content creation world. And so I was doing that at the time. And then one of my friends, TotalBiscuit, John Bain, said, "Hey, man, you can make money doing this." I was like, no way, dude. And here we are, 16 years later. And I'm still. Gosh.
Yep. Wild journey. Would you ever go back to teaching at this point? Or
I think I've said this on numerous occasions. I'd rather walk into the ocean and let the tide take me.
Okay.
Knowing what's happening in the teaching world right now, I still keep up. I still have friends who are teachers. No. Making videos on the internet has made me weak. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. Yeah. Bless every one of them who's still in it. They're doing it out of pure love. I don't have that in me anymore. I have been weakened by, like, I make goofs on the internet. So no, I couldn't do it.
Couldn't go back. Would you say your meeting with TotalBiscuit was the moment that really catapulted your career?
100%. Yeah. Okay. John was already very big in the space, and working with him, doing a podcast with him, being sort of brought into that, doing all of this. I think most entertainment is, and frankly, most jobs in life really is who you know. And in this case, John was very successful and huge, and I was sort of brought in with that. So yeah, I definitely owe him a significant portion of my career, because there are people who can be very funny and talented and amazing and have fantastic videos, but unless there's eyes on them, they won't really blow up in the same way. And I think that was one of the reasons I did. And I think many people in that circle did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, that's leading into my next question, which is, how does it differ when you started? Because you've been around a long time, as have I. What's the main difference that you're noticing from when you first started to like now? How does it feel different for you?
I think originally when it first started, it was kind of like the Wild West, where no one knew what they were doing and everyone was kind of just doing what made them happy. And now it's about following trends and algorithms, and like everyone is picking apart every aspect of it, to the point very much like if you think about video games and you think about, say, World of Warcraft or League of Legends or anything that's very popular where there are a lot of people playing and there's different ways to play. Someone's going to come along and say, this is the optimal build, the optimal way to play, where this character should be played, how to play this thing. And if you don't do that, you're doing it wrong. And that's exactly what kind of happened with content creation, where everyone nitpicked it to the point where you have to do things like in a hyper specific way, to the point where now if you go look at thumbnails on YouTube, they all look the same. Yeah. Not because people are lacking creativity, because creativity actively hurts you in the space now. And the videos are all kind of the same, and everything's kind of the same. And I know it seems crazy to say this, but it's also what people want. The algorithm's saying people want kind of the same. I don't want things to be too different or too strange. And it's very interesting. The people that break out and become very successful, if they're not in that algorithmic funnel, they're rarities and sometimes flukes. But most people, you'll stumble across a person you never heard of with 30 million subscribers, and they have the exact same image as another person you never heard of, right, with 30 million subscribers. And it's like, well, all right, I'm not checked out into that space.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not sure if it's because people did it that way or the platform made people do it that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. But what it has taught me is that since then, I genuinely could not start again. Like if you said, could you do it now in 2026 the same way you did it in 2010? No, I would not be even remotely successful. It just wouldn't happen.
I've said the same thing about my career, in the sense that I don't think IGN was I don't think IGN is the same that it was back then. I don't think that people were paying attention to that sort of stuff as they were back then. So I feel like now it's just completely different landscape. Do you think there's any comparison to how people feel about Hollywood and how people feel about YouTube content? Like, is there any crossed wires there? I wonder if we'll ever get to the point basically on YouTube if now people crave that different change in format that we're just not seeing a lot on YouTube right now. And because we're seeing that in Hollywood, you know?
Yeah. I would say that if your goal is to create for the sake of creating, then you shouldn't be too concerned how many people are watching or how many people care. If you reach anyone, you've done a good job. If anyone relates to what you're trying to say, you've done great. And you should focus on that. And I think that's what a lot of, directors and people in the movie industry want to do when they make some of the more artsy films and stuff like that, where they're not going to get a huge audience. But overall, I think everyone is right to critique Hollywood, to critique the games industry, to critique media in general for kind of sameying everything. It really has the vibe and is really true that at a certain point, I wish I could pinpoint when. I'm sure there's some video online that will do it for you. Everyone at the top of everything, all these companies in media, became more like business bros than anyone who understands storytelling or cinematography or making something for the sake of making it. Rather, it's all about money and how much money we can get back and return on investment and that kind of thing, and the algorithm saying, well, people want this and this and this, and so everything kind of became samey or watered down to the point where it's just, why do I even care about this? And or over, there's just like the overabundance. Star Wars is a great example. They just kept making things, and eventually people got tired of the fact there was just so much of it. And I just did an amazing panel at MagFest, which I just got back from, which is, if you've never been, fantastic gaming conventions like gaming and music. It's great. But I did a panel with Bill Roper and Jason Hayes from like the old school Blizzard days, and them talking about the way Blizzard was when it was like 12 guys in a room trying to figure it out versus the way it is now. It's vastly different, to the point where it's not recognizable as the same company. I think the vast majority of people who associate and play Blizzard products would tell you the same. It just doesn't feel the same anymore. There's something missing from it. It may still be good. They may still enjoy stuff, but it's not the same. And you can see when that kind of happens slowly over time. And it's happened in movies. It's happened in games. Like I said, it's just the thing that I think is happening in general, because, to quote smarter people than I, line must go up.
Yeah, line must go up. Which I guess is why people are craving something new, perhaps, maybe a new platform or a new form of content, which, who knows what that will be in the future. Hopefully it's not AI. But yeah, do you think that there's anything you miss in particular from that time when it was just the Wild West, and what would that thing be specifically?
I think it was the feel that anything you create, anything you make has the potential to be like the next big thing. Like everything felt like, oh, this is the video that could do it. Or, I got together with this person and it felt like we were making things because we wanted to make it, rather than we had to stick with a schedule because the algorithm said you must upload this certain time, this certain way, or, even just the video editing. Now everything's like, you have to have a hook in the beginning. You have to do this and then this thing and this thing. It all's regimented in order to get maximum eyeballs and maximum views. And it kind of sucks. That's boring. And I liked when you could just create and time limits weren't a thing, right? Everything on YouTube, for example, is watch time. And there was a time where animators, for example, could make little 2-minute cartoons. Now, every single animator will tell you, it's just don't waste your time. Yeah. You're not going to get eyes on it because YouTube will say, no, it's too short. Or it'll say, people only watch 2 minutes of this video, which means they don't like it. Which is crazy. If it's a full 2-minute video, they watched 100% of the video. But it's not about percentage. It's about watch time, which is crazy to think about.
It kills the heart. And I think that's a big part of your persona and who you are. You're a storyteller at heart. Like that's the career, everything from when you were younger, like led you to becoming a storyteller, an entertainer. And yeah, algorithms just kill creativity. And I'm just curious how you've navigated that yourself. And if you think there's any point in the future where we can break that cycle and not have it be about that anymore.
First off, I would say I navigated it poorly, or at best holding on to the boat as we're just going through it. I definitely am at the point where I have to fight for every single view or subscriber or whatever I get, simply because you could go the other way and just chase the algorithm and you do well. And I do tests on that. I genuinely try different things to be like, all right, what's this going to do? And you can see if you play the game, it works, but it's soul crushing. It's genuinely like, I just, it's one of those things where even if I couldn't do this as a job anymore and I had to go get a actual real job, and I know there are plenty of people who are like, content creation's hard. And it's really, sure, I get it. On a scale of things, like, yeah, all right, it's tough to come up with ideas, but compared to like a guy going in the mines, no, cut that out. It's totally different. Right. And so like if I had to go get a real job, I would still, much like when I was a teacher, create videos and make things because I like it. I like the storytelling, like you were saying. I like doing things for fun. And that's where this started. I think the difference is many people entered this space after money was involved, and so to them it's a job. It's not a hobby. It's not a thing like for me when I started, and I think that changes people's perceptions of what this should be. And so I don't know that a lot of people would say, oh yeah, I do this and spend the time making a video if I wasn't making a ton of money on it. Mm-hmm. And it's yeah, I would love to say I think things will change, but I don't know. I mean, for years, I would be like, things are going to change. And it consistently just keeps getting a little worse. Like we're this frog in a pot in this thing. Yeah. And it's like, okay, all right, what's going to happen? And yeah, as more and more of these things get bought up by stuff. Like a great example is you were saying, like maybe another company could come along. Yeah. It's tough because YouTube is literally one of the biggest websites in the world. To leave it, I've had friends in the past say, I'm going to leave YouTube, make my own thing on my own website, and it always fails every time. Yeah. It sucks because it's just like you're fighting against this beast and it's seemingly impossible. And I have no idea. Well, clearly something will. Over time, stuff always changes. The question is, what's going to be that thing? I could not tell you. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't either. And I think that's the big mystery. And we're just waiting. We're holding out hope that something perhaps better will come along. Maybe it'll be something new and refreshing, or something that'll just keep making it worse somehow. But like, as you see, YouTube saw TikTok and said, we can steal that, and they made YouTube Shorts. So they're trying to permanently exist. They will, if the next thing comes along, it's called Zimzam. Whatever Zamzam does, it's going to be on YouTube. I promise you. Yeah, definitely. It's pretty much, and everything's just cannibalizing itself because each platform has a version of, that you'll see on Instagram, that you'll see on YouTube. And, it's pick your poison a little bit. And you have to keep feeding the beast. It just never ends. I guess, how do you keep it light for yourself? Do you just pursue the things you like, it seems like? Yeah, that's really it. At a certain point, I instead of investing all the eggs in the YouTube basket, I've moved on to doing, podcasts. I've moved on to producing games. Shout out to Monster Prom, still on the 4th game already, 5th one coming. Let's go. Let's go. That kind of stuff I love doing. And it's not because I'm out there trying to make a hot buck. I'm straight up just doing it for the sake of, oh, this is fun and I want to do it. And man, am I blessed that I can. Yeah. And it's exciting to me to kind of see where we can go with our creativity. And in the gaming space, in the indie gaming space, somehow it's still there. And I think it's because a lot of indie games are just 1, 2, 3 people still making a game. And it feels like how it should be, rather than we spent $500 million on this game, and in order to recoup, we have to make, 800 million instead, like crazy stuff.
Loaded.
And I'm very happy that I get to do what I do. And you're absolutely right. At a certain point, I decided I'm not going to get too caught up in the weeds, and what happens, happens. And I'm very blessed that I can pay the rent, and that's all I need.
Yeah. And you're right about the big budget games. Like the fact that actually that is an exciting part of the industry now, is that we're seeing little games and little teams create these amazing games that people go on to win awards and things like that. And that feels right. That feels, that's like a little slither of hope and happiness that I'm noticing in the gaming industry.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Last question on the topic of YouTube. What would you tell somebody who's just entering into the space at this point?
Do it for fun. Do it because you love it. Do it because it fills whatever void is in your soul and makes you happy. But don't do it to get rich. Don't do it to get fame. Don't do it because you think it's going to be your real job. Do it because you love it. And if you get lucky, awesome. If not, keep doing it because you love it. But don't try to see it as like, I quit my job. I give myself 3 months to do this. Like, all right, but I make no promises. Like, do what makes your soul happy. But other than that, like, I wouldn't think of it as a job. It's not. It is I usually equate YouTube and especially streaming with the idea of you're a busker on the street. You're playing a song, you're doing a dance, you're trying to get people to throw some coins in your guitar case. And some days it might be great, some days it might not. And one day someone might discover you and it might be the next big thing. But most people are not. And that's roughly what it is.
That's a great analogy, actually. Yeah, I think that sums it up perfectly and is good advice, because I think anything in the creative space, it's just that's how it is. It's you either make a huge bunch of money or you make pennies, and that's just create the creative space of any art form, like whether that's making games, whether that's, like you said, singing on the streets. It is like that in the creative space. What would you do now if it weren't for YouTube? What do you think you'd be doing?
I don't know. I've always thought that I would do something in the entertainment space. I feel like just being in it is enjoyable to me. So I would, I could do anything from write to, oh, you need me to hold a microphone? Sure, man, I do that. Just being in it and creating something is exactly what I want to do all the time. Yeah. But also, I could see creating a nice loaf of bread. Like, I could open a bakery and just, the creating things and giving to someone and seeing them smile. That's kind of where I am. I love the idea of gifting things. And every time I make a video, I feel like it's a little present. Here you go. And if you love it, it makes me happy. And that's really who I am as a person, is I like making others happy. And if I can do that in any job, great. I'd be fine with it.
Have you ever tried your hand at making sourdough?
Yes, it did not go well. Shout out to everyone else with COVID who was like, I'm a baker now. Nope.
No. What has your attention lately? What's got your full attention these days, whether it's something you're working on or something in your personal life?
Sure. I am starting to get really obsessed with I have been for a while, but discovering meta stories, not Zuckerberg, but like meta narratives where it's like fourth wall breaking, or there's something deeper going on, or you have to like reread the book twice, but you have to flip it upside down or whatever. Crazy things I'm super into. It really inspires me because that's the kind of creativity that I'm obsessed with. Like, I don't know if you've seen the conformity gate stuff that's happening with Stranger Things.
No. Oh, yeah.
So
I did see that.
Yeah, it's basically Stranger Things ended. The last half of the final season was kind of like,
yeah,
and because people have been conditioned over the past couple of seasons to spot things and look for clues. They thought and put together online kind of this grand conspiracy that the show actually wasn't over yet and more is coming, even though that is like, it's over, y'all. But it reminded me of when Sherlock happened and the final season was kind of like, meh. And people really thought there was going to be another final secret episode. Same thing here. And it's fascinating watching because I get to see sort of Gen Z have this moment for the first time, and they're really like picking apart stuff and finding clues, and they're getting into it, which is what I love to do with media. But it all in the end is leading to nothing. But at the same time, you're like, if this was everything they're saying was real, this would be the single greatest storytelling in the history of all media. Yeah, it kind of, it's fun because as a community, they created something better than what we got. And it's really genuinely interesting to watch it happen because you're like, they put the pieces together, they did this thing, and then as a group created this amazing story that we'll never get. Yeah. And it feels like anytime you go on Facebook and your crazy uncle posts a thing, you're like, man, you are really good storytellers. And I feel like that's the same thing here where, for whatever reason, be it costs or time or whether they just stopped caring, the last half of season 5 is kind of really sloppy. And so people are seeing that sloppy bit and saying, well, that can't be. It must be this other thing. And so that's how I view most games and TV and books and things that I'm reading. I love that kind of thing where I can like, oh, what's that mean? Oh, this must mean something. And then I piece it together. And then when it pays off, I'm like, I'm the smartest person in the world. You have that feeling. And I feel like that's what, the Gen Z kids I'm seeing on TikTok who are really getting into it, that's what they're waiting for, is that big payoff moment, except it's just not going to come. And they keep doing the thing that's like, well, it's going to happen on the 7th. Didn't happen on the 7th. It's going to happen on the 12th. Didn't happen on the 12th. And they keep pushing it back like maybe, just maybe. I almost feel bad. I just want to be like, come here, let me give you a hug, guys. I know. I've been here before. I've done this. I get it. It's all right.
Gosh, would it have been amazing, though, if it was real?
Right? Yes.
That's just what I'm holding on to. Like,
this one guy posted this huge thing of, like, I don't know if it's real information, but he showed a list of the runtime of episodes. And I don't know where they got this, but they were all over 2 hours long. So every episode of the final season was a movie. And he's like, we didn't get that. And I think what they're going to do is reset the entire last season and make every episode the real run times. And I was like, dude, if they did that, that would be the craziest thing in all of Hollywood ever. I would love that. It would be incredible if the last season was fake and then it went back and it was a real last season, but there's no way that's going to happen ever. But the idea of it is great. And someone should do that one day. It's very interesting, but yeah, it's just not going to happen. But that kind of thing, I'm like, that's good storytelling. That's fascinating. Yeah. What a way to tell a story, but it just won't happen.
But what if it does?
If it does, I will be the first person to be like, yo, well done. You got it. Yeah.
Well, also, what if they do it and now it's like, well, of course you did it after you heard us talk about it and got all our ideas.
I'll take credit for that. I'll be like, yeah, they just wanted to really roast me and prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you playing these days, game-wise? I'm sure you're playing a million different things, but is there anything you're completely hooked on? I
mean, my I'm like all over the place with games. Mm-hmm. My big overarching thing is I'm still playing Final Fantasy 14. I love it. Mostly because it's like the most casual MMO experience I have. So I can play it and then stop for a while. I don't have to like grind out a bunch of stuff. I don't have to like do a bunch of gated content. It's pretty much just like, oh, a new story thing dropped. Let's go play the story and then do something else. I love that. I'm a big fan of that. Then, oh man, I have been trying to like experience the world of indies. There's so many. Seance Blake Manor is a banger if you like a good mystery. I love that game. I love FMV games. I'm obsessed with them. Road to Empress is really good. It's this Chinese FMV game where you're playing as a courtesan of the emperor, and the whole thing is about surviving because it is like Game of Thrones to 11. Everyone's trying to kill you. Everyone's betraying you. It's wild. But it also has some of the best production I've ever seen in a video game. Like, it's crazy. The sets are gorgeous. It's wild. I've been going through and going back to No Man's Sky, which is brilliant these days. When it first came out, not great. Now it's genuinely incredible.
Such a great game now.
Yeah. I have been messing around with my brain just died. Warhammer 40K, not Vermin, Darktide. Actually, for some reason, they keep releasing, for money, they keep releasing new characters. And every time a new class comes out, I'll go back and I'll play that. It's a very fun shooter that's just a horde game. And, in the 40K universe, I'm super in. It's always fun to just get dark and gritty and murder chaos demons. I'm kind of all over the place. But I like that. I like staying in that space where it's not, too crazy AAA, because the more you see AAA, the more it's like, it's less a game and more series of microtransactions that can have different costumes for our half of a game. Like, okay.
So true.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true that that's what it is now. Actually, on the topic of that, how do you feel about the evolution right now? We're about to hopefully get into some next-gen consoles here with Xbox and PlayStation. Do you have any thoughts on that? Like, just generally on where the gaming industry is headed? Xbox is putting all their games on PlayStation now.
Sure.
Like, it's completely shifted. There's a shift happening, obviously. So what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's fascinating to me because I'm not sure when that will happen now, because just the costs of everything needed to put a console together have skyrocketed. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. I know we were supposed to get a PS6 in like 2027 or 2028, and now they're like, maybe not. It's
Right.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that, I think it's fascinating that Xbox is like, okay, we're going to do a Sega. We're just going to make games and put them everywhere. I'm fine with that. I think Xbox as a console, they've got some good games with Xbox, but I can be honest and say like that, my Xbox is not turned on in like 2 years. It just hasn't. Any game that comes out, it's on my PC. Why would it seems stupid to be like this thing that's significantly more powerful than the Xbox. I'd rather play it max graphics. So yeah, I'm fine with them putting games everywhere and doing their thing. Great. It changes nothing for me really. Other than that, like Nintendo has always been, it's not about the graphics. So they don't really care. And the Switch 2 is great. And, PlayStation, we'll see what happens over the next couple of years when it comes to parts and stuff. But even the Steam machine,
I was going to ask.
Like, oh, that's going to be super expensive. It's not a console. It's a computer with a controller, which is still going to be a barrier for a lot of people because you're not selling it at $400, $500. You're selling it like $1,000. That's a PC. That better be able to do my taxes too.
Speaking of tax season, all right, let's get into some lighthearted stuff. I really want to get to know, these might be hard to answer, actually. I know for me, it was a hard question that I would not be able to answer, I think, even now. Do you have a 3 favorite games of all time list? If you were to top 3, your favorite, whatever type of game, what are they?
This is the most, like, old guy plays video games, because you said top 3.
Yeah.
So if you said top 10, we start getting more modern, but you can tell exactly when I was a 12-year-old, because my favorite games in order: Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, which is a very specific period in the 90s that I think anyone who lived then knows. But like those 3, even though all 3 are RPGs, really had an effect on me with storytelling. It was the first time I played things where I was like, oh, it looks like a kid's thing, but it's telling me adult things. And it really influenced me, and I was like, oh, wow. But other than that, things like Ace Combat are great. I love Dynasty Warriors games. Obviously, I love Witcher to death. I'm all over the board, but that 1, 2, and 3, very easy for me because they really defined how I interact with games. Like, I love a good game that tells me a story. your gameplay could be trash, but if the story is compelling, I will be in until the end.
Yeah. In the end, it's all about the story.
Yep.
And you answered that really easily, by the way. Kudos, because for me to pick just 3 is really hard. All right. Who is the best video game character of all time, in your opinion? That's a hard one.
All time?
Of all time. Yeah.
Yeah. See, now this is the tough one.
Yeah.
The goof answer is obviously Ultros from Final Fantasy, because he is a perverted octopus, and I have no idea why he exists except to be a goof. But the real answer, I think, would have to be Mario.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
That's everyone loves Mario, and in your head you can hear Mario's theme. You know exactly what he's basically Mickey Mouse, but for video games. So I have to imagine he's
everyone
the best
knows
character of all time.
Yeah. That's actually the right answer. If there was a right answer, it's that. All right, we're going to do some quick this or that.
Okay.
So I'm just going to say 2 things. You have to pick one. You don't have to give a reason as to why you chose the answer you chose, or you can. It's totally up to you. But here goes. All right. PC or console?
PC.
Single player or co-op?
Single player.
Coffee or energy drinks?
Coffee.
Peaceful chat or popping off chat?
Peaceful chat. That might be a lie. It depends on what level of popping off.
Okay. Creative bursts or consistency? It's a tough one. Yeah.
I want to say consistency, but there's nothing like feeling that eureka moment.
Yeah.
Of like, we're doing a thing. But then that is always followed by months of like, well, I got nothing. It's over for me. So I'll say consistency.
All right. Comfort game or new experience?
New experience.
Buggy but ambitious game or polished but safe game?
Buggy and ambitious.
Fast, expensive car or practical and safe car?
I live in LA, so I'll say practical and safe.
Love. Host the Game Awards or have a game premiered at the Game Awards?
Have a game premiered at the Game Awards. I'm not coming for you, Jeff, but give me a discount, man. I'll send you a trailer.
Streaming or playing without an audience?
Oh, playing without an audience. These days, when you stream a game, you are like, I gotta keep it moving. I gotta do things. I gotta, at home, the amount of times I'm playing through Ghost of Yotei right now, I am literally going back and forth across the map, just clearing it, which is, you would never do that on a stream. And if you did, you would have no one watching. So yeah, that is where I'm at. Alone at home is exactly the right way.
Love it. Last one, accidentally spoil a game or get spoiled yourself?
I'm going to say accidentally spoil a game because I've done that before. So it's a thing I've done, and I can say for certain that's what would happen. I would do that. I don't want to, but it just happens sometimes.
Right. Awesome. Well, you won this one. Congratulations.
Wow.
All right, before we wrap up here, I want to know if there's anything at all that you can talk about that's coming up in the future that you're excited to share about, or that you can tease, and that you want to, promo or, give some heads up about.
Boy, get ready. I've got so much stuff. First off, over on YouTube, youtube.com/Jesse Cox. We have a show called Tell Me About, which is very fun, where I just get people on to talk about the things they love that I don't know much about. And we just riff and have a great conversation. Anything from, the behind the scenes of video game music to the multiple endings to Silent Hill F. I played it exactly one time and was like, nah, you can tell me the rest. To the world of VTubing and things like that, or speed running. We had a really great one, and I know that Games Done Quick just ended its awesome Games Done Quick week. And so we did all sorts of fun stuff where I'm kind of like on the outskirts of, and I want to learn more about. Also, there's, scary games and all sorts of, it's YouTube. It's all over there. I also have a YouTube channel called Too Old for This, where I now watch specifically Gen Z and Gen Alpha content. It started as me kind of seeing what the algorithm was doing and working within the algorithm and trying to do the things that I absolutely don't want to do. And it's been a ton of fun to learn what the kids are into. And so that's been a treat. Got a bunch of other stuff, streams and Twitch and whatever. It's all Jesse Cox. But then I've got podcasts. Boy, do you love podcasts? I do. So I have one called Illuminati, which is two friends and I. We cover paranormal murders, things, ghosts, UFOs, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm usually the guy who's like, there's no way this happened. It's great. It's very fun. It's not that serious. It's, kind of playing into the comedy of it while trying to keep it, serious but light.
Right.
Then if you like going back in time, I have a Star Wars book club. We're not reading anything new. It's literally, we started in the 70s and we're working our way through
all the books.
Currently on the Ewoks animated series, which is it's very interesting. And so we've kind of been watching and reading and playing all the old Atari games and things. It's been a treat. And so we're going to work our way through that and then the 90s and kind of go up to when you hit the prequels. So it's been a real blast. Obviously I have my weird morning show style one, Cox and Crendor. And then on the weekends, on every Friday, Geekenders with my lovely co-host Dodger, where we have pretty much kind of conversations like this, which is great, which is why I can talk for hours on it. But if you say, Jesse, what about video games? I told you it's gonna be long. Jesse, what about video games? I have right now, obviously Monster Prom is out. Monster Prom 4, Monster Con. It's great. And I love those games, and they're solid party games for you and your friends to just date monsters and beat each other up in. It's a good time. And then, because I'm obsessed with indie games, I found one called Glitch Spanker, which is all the trailers make it look like it's going to be a comedy. But when I say it's one of the most meta cool games I've played in a while, I cannot stress that, to the point where I reached out to the dev team and was like, I'd love to make games with you. So we're putting together like a little shorty just to see if we can do it, and we'll release it and see what people think. That should be coming in the next, couple months. And then the big game I'm working on is, years ago, I fell in love with a game called Contradiction. It was a full motion video game. Good stuff. One of my favorites. And one of the actors in that, the lead actor, he and I became good friends. And we decided, like, what if we make an FMV game together? And so we have, and it is coming in 2026. And it is really, it's the best way to describe it is like, indie Doctor Who is kind of the way I describe it. It is very fun, very British, and hopefully people will enjoy.
Welcome to Spooky High. I'm Principal Giant Spider. We're a top-notch institution with lots of locations to visit.
When was the last time you saw Kate Vine?
It was last Thursday in the college library. Oh, just Kate being Kate. A bit wild.
Disgusting!
So you snuck out and stole your mom's copy of Big Booty Slapper 6, huh?
That's amazing. Are you in the game yourself? Do you voice a character?
In everything I do, I'm inserting myself. I will be a terrible character. Whatever the worst voice in a thing is, or the worst actor, that's going to be me. I don't want anyone else to take that role. I'll do it. I'll be the one who sucks. Yeah.
Do you do a British accent?
Oh, they specifically told me not to.
Oh, okay.
They were like, don't do that. I was like, all right.
We'll skip that part.
Yeah.
Well, Jesse, it was so great having you on the show. We have done this YouTube thing for so long, and it's just so great to be able to still have friends in the industry like you. And you're always such a pleasure to interview and to be interviewed by, because I've been on your podcast and stuff. So thank you so much. And I'm very much looking forward to all your next projects. I'm going to keep an eye on them. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your year, but hopefully we can have you on the show again in the future.
You too. Yeah. Happy to be back.
Thanks, Jesse. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning into our show with Jesse Cox today. If you enjoyed today's episode, we've got more with amazing guests like Erica Ishii and Paul Castro Jr. And make sure to like this video and subscribe to our brand new channel so you can help us grow. See you next episode.